So I think that being a mother essentially is a calling, and it's a very high calling. But just because I'm a mom doesn't mean that I am only a mother. I'm also a sister and a wife and a friend, and I have lots of other things that make me me. And being a mother is just one of those. And God has put in my heart lots of passions and dreams to pursue, and just because I'm mothering young children right now doesn't mean that those dreams necessarily have to go on hold. It looks a lot different right now. I'm writing at midnight and doing things at different times of the day whenever my kids are sleeping and they don't need me. But it doesn't mean that just because I'm a mom that God hasn't called me to other things, and I don't have the permission to chase after those and to go forward in those other callings as well.
Yeah, and I also think about women's role in the body, and that if women are only being a mother, that we would not be effective in the other things that the Lord's also gifted us in. The body would be without the woman's voice, without women and their giftings and their talents and the way that we can impact the world. And so I think it's important that even though we are mothers, and that is such a high honor and calling, we can also be even more. And we see that even with husbands. You know, they're fathers. They're more than fathers. They're providers. Sometimes they're leaders. Well, they're always leaders, but they're also leaders in the church, or they're leaders sometimes in other areas of life. They can function in multiple roles. And I think that oftentimes women are too, but sometimes I think the enemy likes to come in and kind of lie to us and make us think that we couldn't possibly be more than just a mother. And not saying that just is a belittlement. I mean it more like it's almost a lie, like you have to be encompassed in this life and you couldn't possibly be an amazing mom and also be effective in ministry or effective in other areas of life. So I think it's important that we function in whatever it is God's put in our heart. It may be a season where you are with your children and that's what you're doing in that time, but there is more, and at some point He will stir you to do something, and whatever that is, whether it's something you do within your family or it's something that you do outside of the family. He's created us to be much more than mothers, and to contribute in that way.
And I think there's a lot of shame wrapped up in, well, I can't pursue this, or I can't do this because my kids need me and my husband need me.
Yeah.
But the best thing that you can do to mother your children is for them to watch you chase after Jesus.
Absolutely.
And so if I'm chasing after Jesus and my children are watching me do that, and my husband is supporting me and encouraging me and breathing life into me, then I am honoring my family well, because I'm loving Jesus and they're able to watch me do that. And I think that that shame is something, and maybe that guilt is something that we put on ourselves. That is a lie that needs to be taken away, because that's not who God says we are, and it's not all He has for us.
Absolutely. And I don't think that if you think about even as mothers, what we want for our daughters, do we want to say, okay, your goal in life is to get married and have children, and this is what you're going to do with your life? Or do we see so much more in them? We see giftings, we see talents, we see them pursuing things. We want them to run after Jesus. We want them to touch people's lives. We want to see them change. We want to see them changing other people. If we want those things for them, how much more does the Father want it for us?